Can you imagine if you were debt-free except for your house? What would you do with those payments? Instead of paying the credit card, the car loan, and the student loans, what would you do with that money? Today, we're going to talk about what you need to know so you can create a debt-free plan together. Welcome to the Couple Money Podcast, the show where we share stories and advice on building up your marriage and wealth together. I'm Elle Martinez. Support for this podcast comes from Jumpstart Your Marriage and Your Money Masterclass. This course is designed to help you two get on the same page with money, dump your debt faster, and get you on the path to financial freedom. Sign up for the class today and get lifetime access. Just head over to couplemoney.com/jumpstart. So I have yet to meet a couple who became debt-free by accident. It's funny though, it's kind of easy to slip into credit card debt, take on loans because that's considered normal. But to move away from that, to become debt-free, that takes a lot of effort. And when you're married, that means you have two minds to shift and to grow into this new mindset. And there are a lot of things to consider. For one, how are you going to do your approach? Do you gravitate towards earning more money to knock out that debt, or do you find it easier to slash your expenses? How fast do you want to get rid of this debt? And how do you work as a team using your own personal talents to knock this debt out? Every couple has their approach. So what worked for us might not work for you, which is why I love chatting with others and hearing how they did it. John Wedding, the creator of Mighty Bargain Hunter, is on the show today to offer his take. He and his wife are debt-free except for their house. And in this episode, we're going to get into how things shifted from being solo to a couple, why being debt-free was an important goal to them, and how they worked as a family to be smarter with their money. John has been documenting his family's journey on the Mighty Bargain Hunter for years. Actually, his blog has been an inspiration to me ever since we started working on our own finances. And as you probably guessed from the name, John has a preference on his approach with money.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were very frugal growing up, so I had the benefit of learning from them for the whole time I was there, and they taught me a lot of good lessons and stuff like that. When I moved down to Virginia and started a job, one of my friends, he showed me things like Ebates and Priceline. We used either Priceline or Hotwire for our honeymoon back in 2002. So once I began looking at how these sites work and stuff like that, I started making plans to start a website talking about it. I think the idea of having a website was kind of cool, and I did see possibility of maybe turning it into a side hustle, but I mean the rest of it is just looking to talk about frugal living, personal finance, budgeting, saving money, that kind of thing. Just the fact that it was so easy to save money by just clicking through a couple of links, it really appealed to me, and kind of launched for the other topics on the site.
I found it fascinating that even though John skews towards frugality, he created a side project that does bump up their income a bit. How can that help you? Well, where do you fall on the spectrum? Are you really good with saving money, or do you find it easier to negotiate and create opportunities to earn more? Both can work, and as John shared, you can incorporate a little of each. Now, how about your spouse? Where do they shine? It might seem that having a spouse who's on point with everything would make it easy, but I think you know, one, that's impossible, and two, you'd be missing out on some real synergy in your relationship. We each bring something to the table. So as you're looking at your debt-free plan, look for those differences. They can make a huge impact on your finances and your relationship for the better. The first step is understanding your spouse. It makes it much easier to know where you can start working together. John shared some things he appreciates about how his wife handles money.
My wife was raised frugal also, but came together wanting different things. It does take budgeting to make sure that things don't get out of control. Oh, well, my wife also loves to read. She already knows far more than I ever have any hope of knowing. So she's just very widely read and has just takes everything in. So, I married up in that respect. But I guess my spending would be a little bit maybe higher dollar amount and a little less frequent. Before we got married, she used to do the grocery shopping for her and her roommates. She was pretty careful about grocery shopping and getting decent deals and not getting a whole lot of convenience foods, because those kind of drove the price up.
Even though they're both pretty frugal, it did take some time to find a system that worked for both of them. Getting a budget was a bit of a challenge, but they were ready to tackle it together. One resource they tapped into was Financial Peace University.
I think I was interested just because I had never really taken it. And I suppose, foolishly, I kind of thought I was going to go in and it was just going to confirm everything I knew, but that wasn't the case at all. There was a lot that I learned from it. And my wife learned from it too. Made some changes in our finances based on financial peace, especially the thing with the budget. We kind of had the feeling that there was a lot of money that we just didn't know exactly where it was going. So we needed to readjust and see where it was going. We had to tune things up a little bit. So the one thing that really has helped us out the most right now is we just talk a lot about expenses. We really buckling down doing a budget thanks to Financial Peace University. The budget part we talk about once a month, and just a few days ago she said, well, we have about say $70 left for the month for groceries, so you might want to not get a pack of Monster or something. It's like, okay, that's fine, I'll do that, or take it out of my discretionary or something. If something's kind of getting low, we'll talk about it, or if we want to make a larger expense, we'll talk about it. Yeah, and our daughter sees us doing this, and we're open about how we're working through things.
And while they may be watching their money more closely than you would prefer, this is a system that works for them and that they're very comfortable with. And it's had some great results with their finances.
We're getting to the point where, about the only debt we have right now is our house. So I think right now we're looking to get our savings, like the 3 to 6 month savings up, and then we'll move from there. But we're looking to pay down the house, and her parents are also in the area, so we're planning for them and things like that. So it's kind of family oriented, I guess.
And besides teamwork, there are certain tools that help John to pay off that debt, but then also some tools that he's using now as he's moving on to the next phase.
The website's really good. The Android app is really slick, though. It's just responsive. It really works well. For going to the grocery store, I'm not a big coupon clipper, but I will check out Ibotta. You can get some money simply for scanning your receipt. You don't even have to buy anything in particular. It's just kind of free money.
We use Personal Capital for our net worth updates, and I've tried Ibotta. And what's great about it, if you do it the way John does it, where you shop the way you normally shop and then afterwards scan things, you can make sure that you're saving money without putting extra things in your cart. And finally, I talked to John about being debt-free, both that experience of knocking off that car loan, but then also why debt freedom is so important to him and his family.
Oh, we were celebrating. we were just really happy. And we were already thinking about, I think the payment was like, it was 280 a month or something. It was for my wife's minivan. Yeah, we were already thinking what purposes we could put that money to now that it wasn't going out the door. it takes a lot of worry away if you don't have to come up with however much a month in order to stay where you are. My wife, is all for that too. I mean, we like where we live and we want to continue living here. So.
Special thanks to John for being a part of his show. Please check out more of his story over at Mighty Bargain Hunter and grab his free book, 49 Ways to Spend Less. And if you're looking to become debt-free, I have info and links to resources over at the show notes, including how we paid off our car loan early. If you want to stay on top of the podcasts, videos, articles, make sure you're subscribed to the community. I send out weekly updates with everything we release, as well as some behind-the-scene and exclusive stuff. Plus, it's free. Just go over to couplemoney.com/join. Our theme song was written and performed by Gentle Regime, additional music by Lee Rosevear, and Music for Makers. Finally, and most importantly, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you sharing your favorite episodes with your friends. I hope you have a great week. Take care.